All right, y'all, we're back with some more Gekishin Squadra, and today we're going to be talking about Broly. So, I'm not here by myself as well. I am joined by your boy Mike. Hey, Mike.
Uh, Hello, it's your boy Mike.
That's like a voice box. Like you click on like a button on a box and it just plays an automatic sound.
Yeah, I just I just clip myself and I just say it the same exact way each time.
It's just like you just have a Discord like thing. But like anyways, we're getting off topic. So Broly's kit should be revealed to us tomorrow, the 19th, the 20th, depending on your time zone. More or less, right? The content creators in the program do usually get access to like the footage and things like that the Friday before release. And we know Broly releases on Tuesday/Wednesday, also depending on your time zone. So again, we should be seeing details for Broly within like the next 48 hours, I would say at most. So I think it's a good time to talk about what we want to see for Broly in terms of the Gekishin meta and how things are right now. We also do know that there's going to be balance changes for Gohan and Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta next week, so a lot of things are going to be shaken up, I feel like, which is a good thing. I don't want the game to be stagnant in any period of time, honestly, because that's when things will start to get boring. Now, we also do have footage of Broly from the trailer here that I actually looked at with Mike right before this, and we'll just, again, reassess this and see if there's anything that we might notice. And from what I saw, and from what Mike saw as well, I don't think that there's anything that we didn't really see that wasn't really easy to point out, right? I'm not sure if there's anything you noticed, Mike.
Well, I was gonna say, I feel like they kind of learned from Topo, for example, who had his counter not instantaneously, because we were talking about it, but the Broly move where he like shouts and then Piccolo attacks him, and then Broly does like a almost like a counter attack ability.
Yeah. So,
I feel like they kind of learned like, oh yeah, let's not make the move counterable in a sense. Uh, so they just made it where like it's instantaneous, like the second that Piccolo uses his ki blast against Broly, he's like, all right, well, I'm gonna slam you. Like it's not something that could really be stopped per se.
Well, we still need to
Which
see it actually in game, but I see what you mean. And, this is us playing at slow speed, and he already does do the counter instantly. Like, if we play it at a quicker speed, it's interesting because the enemies have to be in the range as well, just like similar to Topo's counter, right? But this does look like just a specific counter. At first, we were thinking this might be, I was like, when I was first watching this trailer, we thought this would be a stagger, but that's not the case because you see Piccolo is still attacking during this move, and with it being a counter, it wouldn't make sense for Broly to stun the enemies, right? So we see as soon as the ki blast hits him, Broly does just like shoot down and hit the enemy back. At least it looks like it's some type of counter move to me. I assume during this move, Broly will get. I don't know if this is the no
he also has like a
obstruction
green
effect.
aura around him too.
I think that
Yeah.
might be no obstruction, which is something that Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta has, and in my opinion, something that Topo should have, right? I mean, you know how Topo can be stunned, right, Mike, through his counter? Yeah, that's something that maybe Broly might not be able to be stunned or moved during this counter, like no CC applied to him. And then he just goes through and does this punch as retaliation. Now, this is his second move here. I'll also let Mike kind of talk about it, but we'll play it in 0.25 times speed,
Yeah,
I
like
mean.
there's not really any effects that's going on. Like I can't tell if Piccolo is just moving back or not, because like if you look at Goku, because there's two enemies, right? There's the Piccolo and the Goku. I can't tell if it's like the middle has it where like it maybe draws people in, and then the outer ring pushes people out, or something. Because again, Piccolo's like moving slightly back, but Goku's just not moving at all. So it's just
Yeah.
another ability that we just have to kind of wait to
It's
see how it
really
actually works in
interesting
game.
because it really could be an effect where like whoever Broly hits like is pulled in and then Piccolo might be pulled out, but it looks like Piccolo's moving out at the same time here, so I'm not sure how exactly it works, but we know for sure that this last attack right here does push them both back, and it does hit them both away forcibly. So
Yeah, because they both get KO'd.
I don't know if they're KO'd. Oh yeah, they are KO'd actually. but still, that's something we have to see because it looks like it would push them back regardless. But since they are being KO'd, actually, that's something I didn't even notice.
Right.
I'm not sure what's happening here exactly. So again, like with Broly's kit, it's really interesting to see how his two skills work. But beyond that, we actually didn't get anything else for like what the rest of his kit does. We didn't really see his ultimate, from if I'm not mistaken. We didn't see basically almost anything from his kit besides those skills. So it might be like still like in development, quote unquote, where they're putting the final touches and they don't know exactly, what the effects might have been. I mean, we saw that they changed Ultimate Gohan, and in my opinion, it looks like they changed Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta's stun right before his release, right? So we're gonna go ahead and see what people in the community want from Broly. But Mike, if you're gonna say you want to see one thing from Broly yourself, what do you want to see Broly actually do in game?
Something that I guess I would want his passive ability. I know a lot of people, and even the first comment is like, oh, I don't want him to be staggered at all. And I don't necessarily want that to be a thing. What I think would be kind of better is just having some sort of like CC reduction. So like, let's just say that Broly as his base form, right, is like 25% reduction in all CCs, any stuns and all of those effects. And then once he transforms, it like bumps up to like 50%. Not an entire like you can't stun Broly at all, but like at least a good majority of the effect is gone.
Well, the only thing
I feel
about
like something like that would be pretty unique.
Yeah, I feel like the only thing about that that's interesting is I feel like most stuns are like less than a second. So it actually doesn't like having a 50% cooldown on like less than a second kind of stagger is basically pretty close to saying you're not getting stunned anyways, right? I feel like rather than have like a passive 50% less stagger, and of course, this is like I feel like I would rather them nerf the time on Vegeta stagger, like shorten it by like at least half the amount that it is right now. And realistically, all stunts and staggers should be not that long. It should be like under a second, like something that you actually have to play off of, rather than something that makes it free and easy eats, right? I
Maybe
think
increasing his defense when he gets staggered. Then
I mean, I would say that he could just have a bar where, okay, when the bar is filled up, you have immunity to getting staggered when the bar pops, kind of like solid barrier for like when you get staggered for a few seconds in that time frame, let's say up to 2 seconds, you cannot be staggered in that time frame. Then after the bar goes down, and to fill the bar up again, you have to do damage kind of like Cell does, right? Or you have to or Zamasu, exactly, right? Like a gauge like that would be really interesting for Broly. And then it could kind of be like, okay, how he has like his because this is movie 10 Broly, how he has the barrier around him like the lava. I think that could be a really cool idea where, okay, when it's built up there, you could see the visible like lava barrier around him, and then when it breaks, like obviously he won't have it during that, so that you could visibly see when he has that or not. Now I feel like realistically, as much as I would like to see that, I think I'm one of the first people who I actually like kept pushing this idea in the community for CC immunity on Broly, and a lot of people do like it because staggers in this game are so common and so absurd that you could like just chain them in together. I mean, again, we talked about this, but like, you could have a team of Super Saiyan Goku, Gammas, Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, and Ultimate Gohan, and you just get chain staggered over and over and over again, and I think that's very annoying, especially with Vegeta's. So like, again, you could say like a character like Broly, even with just like a 50% reduction in like CC immunity, could be good as well, like depending on the situation. But I think like a barrier would be a really cool idea too. But I think there's multiple ways you could take that. I think having a character that like another attacker that has a lot of HP would be good, because really the only attackers that I feel like have a lot of HP is Deborah and Topo. I feel like every other attacker kind of has like low HP and are mostly like, I feel like besides Gammas, I feel like Gammas, Deborah, and Topo are like, oh yeah, these are bottom lane characters. Mini Goku could also be bottom lane because he has like the powerful dance and he also has the ability to steal farm from the other side of the enemy team. But I don't know, like Kale, like you could run her bottom lane, but that's only because she wants to be next to a tank and she could be a little ranged. I just think having another like bottom lane centric kind of character like Broly, I think would be really good. Like I might get
Yeah,
crazy for
I think
that.
for sure.
Like,
Yeah.
I feel like more
Yeah, 'cause, like,
heroes are like
the-
top lane based.
Right. And again, like how you were saying, it's just a lot of these characters or DPS characters just don't have a lot of HP and they always just die pretty quick. So it would be nice to have Broly where it's just like, you know, a Juggernaut type character have like an insane amount of HP, similar to like
And
the Bora, for
You know, it's
example.
funny because if we get more good characters with higher HP, it could actually make Cell kind of breathe a little easier, or a character like Baby. Because I feel like, especially a character like Baby, benefits a lot from like a damage character who has extra survivability to him, which God Topo sort of has. Like God Topo and Baby are definitely like, you know, the best duo together. But maybe we could see like Baby and Broly. If Broly has like that counter, has like a lot of health, right? We'll see. Broly is also a transformation character though, so I don't really know how his early game health is gonna look. It's gonna be interesting to see, regardless, what they do with this guy. I'm not sure if there's anything else you wanted to note before we actually just read some of the comments here.
No, not really. I guess the only thing I could think of is that like I wonder if they're gonna change the defensive cards at all, because like now that everyone's kind of going for build up and all that, I wonder if there's gonna be like any impacts to that, or if it's gonna make it like maybe have it where like Snowball used to be like how it is, where you don't lose all the stacks on it if
Well,
you die.
Let me open the
So like kind of
game.
balance it out.
Like, because the snowball, how snowball used to work is it used to be 10 stacks, and then what's it called, you would lose half of the stacks, but the actual stacks of snowball weren't as powerful as they were now. I honestly think snowball is fine as it is right now. I think it's actually just, it is still a good card. It's just survivability. You maybe, I don't know if I would say snowball needs a damage buff. I would honestly argue that the other red cards, like, I think Giant Slayer is fine, honestly. I feel like Pursuer is decent, but like, I feel like it just more so like a lot of characters don't really benefit from Wicked Warrior, honestly. Like, there's not really, I think this rush attack, like a character based off of rush attacks in this game is inherently going to be at a disadvantage anyways. So maybe this could be stronger. Lightning Swift is kind of bad. I think this should just needs to be completely reworked, right? If we're talking about like other characters. But I think I want to talk about this more so like in the in another video. I might do with Mike, depends on if he's available, but we'll be talking about like, you know, Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, and Gohan getting adjusted, and other characters that still need adjustments. But yeah, that's, I get what you mean about the cards though, for sure.
Yeah.
Let's take a look here at some of the quotes. Actually, there's no quotes right there. Okay, cool. There's a lot of private quotes. I wonder why. Some people are just angry at the game, I guess. Oh, here it is. Let's take a look here. So
I just gotta refresh my stream real quick because it was like lagging. All right, we're good.
okay, you're getting even more scared of him because the launch of that damn thing is getting close. Yeah, people are scared of Broly. I guess for sure. Shaq type Duncan is crazy. I don't think I care anymore, and a lot of people don't. Just something balanced, please. Yeah, we don't want Broly coming in and being like, yeah, I'm gonna stun you 16 times as well. I think we need some sort of like counter semblance or like something more unique with this guy, and I think that he can bring that to the table. But yeah, I mean, I think that some of the changes that they're making to the game is good, but they'll need to drop them with a character like Broly, which seems to be what they're doing. So fingers crossed that, you know, the update next week is actually really, really good for Gekishin players. Kind of lame for me not to give details, but honestly, you're just so over how Gohan and Vegeta 4 were. You want Broly to not drop as best in Raw or top character in the game for free. Give me something closer to Gotenks where he was strong. It could be annoying, but not oppressive top 1. Yeah, I think Gotenks, like, was actually a pretty good release. And, you know, people found, I feel like, okay, again, I'll always say this, and I say this in, like, a lot of videos. Super Saiyan 3 Goku, especially with Superstar and skill damage up 1, was very, very annoying and at times oppressive. But like now that we don't like, he didn't even really receive a bad nerf to like his kit specifically, but it's just more so the fact that, you know, obviously Vegeta existing is a huge thing on this guy's presence, but like you could very easily tell, like, you know, this guy not having a secure until later on in the fight, his skill 2 just not being really that great, his passive skills not even that crazy because it is just mostly rush attacks, or his rush attack actually is that boost, sorry, like he has this where it's like enemy here to have more HP, it's like kind of playing dangerously, right? His IT Kamehameha is good still, right? But like that's kind of the biggest thing he has, and he doesn't really do much outside of that, which he's still a good character, don't get me wrong, but like when you compare it to like a character like Goku or Daima Goku who could do just a lot more than that, right? You can kind of see where this guy, like his design philosophies, I think balanced him out a lot more, especially with season 2.
On top of that, I think that another thing as well is that Khalifa shut this guy down really hard. Because if you had Provoke on, you can't use your 2 out because it just goes to Khalifa. You can't use your instant transmission because it just goes to Khalifa. And Super Saiyan 3 Goku sucks at close range combat, which is what Khalifa is like the master of, you know?
And
so
everyone is like tankier now. So like a lot of these things in comparison, I think wasn't a fault of Super Saiyan 3 Goku, but it wasn't fault of how the game works. And when they adjusted that, this guy came more towards a balanced character, which is funny that, of course, when he was out, he was very much more impressive. But I feel like maybe the fault wasn't even necessarily on his design, even though the IT is still a super thing. Like, I think you can kind of see my point, right?
Yeah.
And then Gotenks, I don't know, like Gotenks
was like the healthiest release ever. He was the most balanced character, and
yeah,
like he had like people will say, well, oh my god, Gotenks was so broken because he had so much stuff about him, but every single part of his kit had some sort of counter. His one just vanished, you know, like you always had your vanish and you had to like have counterplays
like,
in order to not have that happen, right?
You only get caught by Gotenks' skill 1 if you vanish haphazardly. That's literally it. Like if you, and now you could escape Gotenks' skill 1 with like, you know, certain other characters, like, you know, a move like hit skill 3 that warps you out, you could also escape Gotenks' combo with that. Like that was a shadow nerf that they never talked about. Galactic Donut
just sucks.
Sucks.
Holding the D key can get you out of it. That's the counterplay to that. Is you just hold you
literally
hold any
just
movement option ever.
If you're actually like looking on the map, and if you're looking at your screen, you could escape this move. Like that's really the best thing I could say. If you're paying attention, you could escape. You only get hit by this if you're not paying attention to it. Like that's just how it is. Super Ghost,
you could just break with like
they're good,
any
but
energy.
Yeah, you could break them still. Like they don't like do a lot of damage. It's something that you have to follow up on. His ultimate's really good. But like
even his most broken move, I find it like early game, the movement of the actual attack itself is just too slow to the point where again you could just use any movement option out there to just get out. I mean, like any skill can use or just out. Oh, just by walking out.
If you have 16's buff, you could escape this probably, right? Yeah. Like I feel like with 16's buff, especially the movement speed up, which is a stupid buff by the way, they should change that. Sometimes I just move out of it, bro. I'm like, okay, bye, right? You know, or even when I'm,
it's not really like, super oppressive until it's like,
out of it,
maxed out.
Yeah. So, and then Topo obviously needs a slight buff, I feel like, but like I think then we look at season 2 where it's like Ultimate Gohan. I feel like the only issue is if they nerf Gohan, these two rise back up again. I feel like it's not as prevalent with Gohan as people would think, but Gohan is still best tactical, right? Like we could agree, even though these two are like close to him, he's like best technical steer. Still, he just does too much. And then Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta
actually, you haven't seen Krillin Fan 27's Krillin against Ultimate Gohan. He's actually the best technical in the game.
Yeah, you're just place your Zarbon better, right? And then Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta is also in a spot where he's just by far best tank because the two best tanks previously got nerfed. Now we know that they're planning adjustments for these two, but we don't want Broly to drop like that, and hopefully that they have like enough like understanding of the game and how people play the game to the point where they could drop Broly and not have him super mega oppressive. Like again, Gotenks was really good and people still got Gotenks, right? Even though he had a lot of holes in his kit that were on purpose. And then people still said he was too good and they nerfed him to oblivion. So that's unfortunate for Gotenks. But again, I mean, a lot of people who play this game are like in B rank lobbies and talking about, oh, this is how the game should be. And it's like, you know what? You know, that's fair and all, but like, Canada doesn't matter.
They nerfed 18, dude. Like one of the not the worst, and not like one of the worst, but like a pretty bad.
I would say that
damage unit, and then they nerfed her.
I heard a lot of people actually like the change because they don't have to invest as many skill points into that Destructo Disc early on. They just have the 2 Destructo Disc in early game, which 18 is like early game lane demon in a sense. Or if you get in a fight with 18 early game, it's very tough. But you could also just avoid that and back farm, right? Like it's easy to avoid 18.
Well, the issue, yeah, I would say the main issue with her was just that her late game sucked, and they just made it worse.
I mean, yeah, that's true too. You want him to be invulnerable to everything. If a Broly character in a video game doesn't feel like that, then they throw him to the bin. I mean, yeah, that's why it's like, again, a Broly feeling is him just like tanking attacks, which is why people are surprised that this guy is an attacker. But I feel like at the same time, if between movie 8 Broly, movie 10 Broly, because this is the second coming Broly, I think the first Broly movie one, he should be a tank. I think that would make more sense to me, like base from Broly, and then he transforms into Legendary Super Saiyan Broly. Like I think that guy should be a tank because he's the one who like tanked Goku's Kamehameha like to the face, right? Like that. He'll be stronger than Kale with some type of blast armor. Blast armor would be interesting, I guess, like energy blast. Like maybe he does reduce damage.
That with like a lava bubble with like an ability.
Yeah.
Similar to like Kale's energy wave.
Well, we know Kale has no obstruction. I wonder Broly's ultimate.
Khalifa, sorry.
Oh yeah, I can see Broly having no obstruction in this kit somehow though. 50% extra damage to Gohan's.
50% damage extra to all Goku family.
That'd be pretty peak. Immunity to CC, yup. Make him a sustained team fight brawler like the Gammas. Yeah, again, this is literally what I was saying. Like a sustained team fight brawler, basically, like have him have extra HP, like a bottom lane kind of character, like Gammas or Deborah and Topo. I literally completely agree with that. Because I just think we need more of those type of characters, you know, especially with like the build-up meta. I think that'd be really good. You really hope his ultimate isn't a secure. From what we've seen from his kit, he'll practically just replace them. I mean, yeah, if he's like just Gammas but with a secure ultimate, he will replace them. But I would also keep in mind that his ultimate is probably gonna be in fact, let me bring up this guy right here. Where the hell is this guy? I would assume his ultimate is going to be this gigantic meteor. Again, I'm playing the Stoke animation, but this right here, right? Like, where he has the Ki Blast and he throws it down and then it, like, explodes. I would assume, because this is what they give Broly ultimates in many of these games. Like, that's usually his ultimate. I would assume his ultimate's going to be secure in some fashion, but they could decide not to. I mean,
once you're done doing this, can you pull up the tech Broly from Worldwide?
Well, that's movie 8 Broly.
I guess. Oh yeah, I was gonna say, but I know that it's not the same one. But I was gonna say this guy. Well, I was gonna say the tech one, the 18 key, where like he just does like a beam attack everywhere would also be pretty cool.
I mean, they could always
not really have it necessarily as a secure, but more of like I'm doing damage kind of everywhere sort of move would also be kind of nice.
I feel like
again, it's like how you said it's a movie 8.
I think he should have.
If they would actually do it.
I mean, my thinking is that he should have a Kale, like ultimate like Kale, where it's like okay, he gets no obstruction during the ultimate, he gets a lot of extra health, and then he just does a ton of extra damage, really. That's also similar to
Right.
what the Gammas are doing, right? I think an ultimate like that would be better for Broly rather than another secure kind of character ultimate. Um, but I don't know, like also Broly having a secure could potentially free up, like if let's say Trunks gets buffed, for example, like it could allow Trunks to be able to kind of be a top lane and Broly's like the secure character, right? Or
Right.
even a character like Oob could see like a little more 18 like might not have to worry as much like her being top lane, right? You know, a bunch of these different
Yeah.
characters, but I would still say it would be better for him not to be secure because I don't necessarily want him to be like a direct replacement to a certain character, but we'll see. um who knows? Bouncing pecs, all right, bro. I mean, that'd be awesome. um Second coming version, why does ult to be the Omega Blaster? Yeah, good boss secure move. Literally the exact opposite. Maybe a one-line charge attack with bonus resistances. A big 3 blast move with more damage per blast, but he's stationary, mainly that. So like, you know, okay, I see what you mean. I would assume you're talking about this move, I think. This one right here. You see how he's standing here, and then he just like shoots out the blast like pew 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 like that. That's what you want, I assume.
Yeah, except it's big bouncing pecs during that
Yeah.
animation.
I mean, lightning on Eric, make him kill Zopa permanent. That would be pretty funny.
Can you imagine if every single time you use his ult, he gets like 10% stronger? That'd be pretty cool.
Anyways, let's ignore that. No staggers. Again, this is literally the ultimate that I brought up. An ability at Super Saiyan Rose Goku Black. That'd be awesome. Pure damage shenanigans and nuking potential. From what you heard, he's got CC community. I feel like I accidentally like set this expectation. Like, I feel like
Yeah,
I'm not,
so guys, remember, if Broly does not have CC immunity, we all know straight to whose comments we're going to. Minatos Flash, why did you lie to me?
bro, it's not even gonna be a joke. People, some people might actually be like it's getting to the point where I was like, Broly, it'd be awesome. Broly has CC immunity with all the stagger going on, and then I think everyone liked that idea, which is like, duh, because it's a good idea. I mean, again, this is movie 8 Broly, but I don't know if they're gonna reference other movies in movie like I don't know if they'll reference movie 8 Broly, movie 10. But I mean, Super Saiyan 3 Goku isn't really an issue anymore, anyways. Like, but that's also because Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta exists. Like, if they nerf this guy, we could see Super Saiyan 3 more. But even then, he's not like necessarily like early game Super Saiyan 3 Goku, especially without Super Start, is kind of like a chud. Does that make sense? Like his level 1 Kamehameha is so kind of it's hikey ass. Like, we'll read these two and then we'll just finish here. First of all, super armor, yes, I know it's toxic, but it's movie accurate anyway, so super armor. So this is like Xenoverse kind of talk, right? Where he just can't be stunned. Which is, yeah. Immunity to stun, yeah. Low down effect, so he could get afflicted with bleed and destruction stuff with Topo. You want him to stun or something like that, but tank decently. And then immunity to the wall splat stunning some characters could do, even if he's attacking them. Yeah, again, people will just hate the stagger meta in this game. Like, I feel like if we look back and then we're like, okay, each Gekishin Squadra meta, season 1 would just, I feel like, what would we call the season 1 meta? Like, would it just be like, would it just be like Super Saiyan, like something with like Super Saiyan 3 Goku, like I don't want to say like snowball meta, but like, I feel like season 2 is definitely like
snowball meta.
I feel like season 2 is like stagger build up meta. Boss secures always exist, but you know, like if we're gonna say like, okay, season 1 is like snowball, like a snowball meta, then season 2 build up stagger, like the stagger meta, I think is a big thing right now. Because like, I mean,
yeah,
the best team, like the best characters basically all have some sort of stagger for the most part, except for Piccolo, but like Piccolo can like one-shot bosses, so it's like that's also really good. So anyways, let us know what you guys are thinking about Broly, what you want to see from him. It's been about 30 minutes. Oh my goodness, we're such yappers. And I don't know, Mike, is there anything you want to say?
No. Remember, if Broly doesn't have CC immunity, we all got to comment on Minatos' video. and make sure to make sure to say that specifically. Just be like, why did you lie to me?
Yeah. And again, we might see Broly's kit. Oh, we should see Broly's kit tomorrow. So stay tuned. I will be covering that as soon as I can. And catch you guys next time. Peace out.
Bye.